Over the years I've made a few troubled attempts at becoming a videographer, but always life got in the way and prevented that dream from happening. Once, when I was living in London, my flat was burgled and my camera, laptop and years worth of video footage was stolen. The stolen media was a heartbreaking loss, and it was years before I could afford to replace the hardware. On another occasion, when I was in the middle of filming a documentary and about to start working as an assistant to a filmmaker, I experienced a life-threatening health crisis that completely wiped me out and took more than a year to recover from. The job had been filled by somebody else by the time I'd recovered. And I've experienced money problems for most of my life, which have forced me to fall back on my primary skill set as a graphic designer in order to pay the bills and keep a roof over my head. But all the while I kept this dream alive. I kept practicing what I loved doing. I completed the documentary I was working on and shot dozens of other videos, and in January of this year I decided to set up a community group called Wight in order to bring people together and teach them media skills like videography, editing and animation. And to help us in this endeavour, I decided to sacrifice my living room in order to set up a video studio, so that we've got a permanent space to create video content. And I thought this process of transformation might make an interesting video series. And so here we are, inside my little living room, showing you the before shots of how it looks before I get started. I live in a small flat by the sea in Ventnor, on the Isle of Wight. I don't have the luxury of having a large spare bedroom, or a basement or an attic that I can convert into a studio, so with my wife's kind consent and support, we're going to sacrifice our living room to help realise this dream. Before I end part 1 of this video series, I'll just tell you what my aspirations are for this studio. Firstly, how it'll look, and then what I intend to use it for. The setup I envision is this. The backdrop will be a dark grey curtain that will be where the blue curtain is now. There will be a coloured accent light on the floor, just in front of the curtain, which will cast a gradually fading light up the back of it. I'll probably use some sort of LED light strip that can be tuned to any colour. The main light source will be a large LED panel that is daylight white in colour, which I'll place on a tripod on the left-hand side, and I'll use a smaller bicolour LED panel on the right as a secondary fill light. In the middle I'll place a black and white desk and a black desk chair so that the talent has somewhere reasonably comfortable to sit while they're being filmed. Right, that's a summary of the setup. Now let's talk about the uses of this space. Primarily, it will be a space for individuals to shoot vlogs on their own and interviews with others. It wouldn't be difficult to add a second chair. There could even be a small discussion panel of up to 3 people if you rotated the desk by 90 degrees to create more space, or removed it entirely. I know my wife would like to vlog. She used to be an actress and a model, but developed debilitating mental health issues and had to undergo shock therapy, and is now on so many pills that she rattles. But she really wants to turn a corner and start a new chapter in her life that embraces more than just being unwell. And I'd like to vlog too, about ideas and projects. I love all things creative and am always striving to connect people together and make the world a better place one way or another. It may take me a while to gain confidence because I have a physical disability, a movement disorder called dystonia, that means I have problems controlling my neck muscles and the position of my head. And I'm sure some of the others involved in the Wight Vision project will find their voice and shoot vlogs in here too. I think this space would also be great as a place to shoot interviews. I often bump into interesting people on my travels, artists, healers and community builders for example, and it would be so incredibly useful to have an attractive studio space in which to hear their story and learn about the projects they're involved in. But most of all, I'd like to share this space with others, especially those who live nearby who don't have access to their own studio space. I'm sure there are hundreds of people who live in Ventnor and Shanklin, which is the area in which I live, who would love to have a space to conduct their video projects. A space where they can work alone and in private, or as part of a creative team. Right, that's enough rambling from me. You've seen the room, you've heard what the plan is, and so we'll call this part 1 of the Living Room Studio Conversion Project. If you'd like to see how we get on, then please consider subscribing to the Wight Vision channel so that you'll get notified when I post the next part of this series. Otherwise, see you again soon.